He wants you to become someone great. And becoming always starts with being alone with Him. That job you didn't get, that friend group that left, that plan that failed, it may all be part of Allah isolating you. Not to break you, but to build you privately before using you publicly. Sometimes what breaks your heart is what saves your soul. The closed doors, the empty rooms, the long nights of wondering, why is this happening to me? All of it, every delay, every detour may be part of your training. Allah builds leaders in secret. He builds patience in pain. He builds trust in trials. So don't fear the quiet. Embrace it, because Allah never wastes a moment, especially the silent ones. When Allah isolates you, He's not putting your life on hold. He's preparing your heart for something greater. You may feel like your life has paused, but behind the scenes, Allah is writing a beautiful chapter, a chapter that will only make sense when you look back and realize that silence saved me, that solitude shaped me, that stillness made me ready. Trust His timing, trust His silence, trust His love. Even when it feels like He's far, He's actually closer than ever. 3. You needed to be separated to see clearly. There are times in life when Allah separates you, not because He wants to hurt you, but because you're too surrounded to see the truth. Sometimes you're lost in a crowd, not physically, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And so Allah begins to clear the space around you. He removes people, He closes doors, He silences noise, and you're left alone wondering what's happening. That's when clarity begins, when you're constantly moving, constantly listening to others, constantly keeping up with life. You don't have time to reflect. You're in survival mode, not soul mode. And in that pace, you begin to forget what your heart truly needs. So Allah, out of pure love, slows you down. He takes away the noise so you can hear the whisper. He clears out the crowd so you can recognize your own face in the mirror. He isolates you, not to punish you, but to help you pause long enough to find what matters again. That confusion you feel when people leave is not abandonment. It's Allah rearranging your life for something clearer, deeper, and better. You see, clarity doesn't come when you're constantly surrounded. It comes when you finally pause, when the voices fade, when the opinions stop, when your mind has room to breathe. That's when your heart starts to speak. And most importantly, that's when Allah's guidance begins to shine. We think that surrounding ourselves with more people will make us feel more certain, that the more advice we hear, the better our decisions will be. But the truth is, when there are too many voices, the heart becomes confused. It stops knowing what's guidance and what's noise. But when you pause, truly pause, and let yourself sit in stillness, your heart wakes up. It begins to speak honestly. You remember what you were running from. You see what you've been avoiding. And in that moment of stillness, Allah's guidance gently enters your life. Not loudly, not forcefully, but with clarity that pierces the fog. That is the kind of light that can only shine in silence. And sometimes we're surrounded by noise. Voices that confuse us, people who distract us, environments that weaken our faith. You may be in a room full of people, but still feel distant from Allah. Not because you're a bad person, but because the atmosphere around you doesn't feed your soul.